Explaining the world of Black Lagoon, we have to start by explaining what Roanoke is. Roanoke is a place where human nature is at its worst. The longer you stay around or live around here, the city will get to know you mentally. It brings out the dark side out of all of us. Our four main characters are Revy, Rock, and Dutch, and Benny. But the story is mostly about Revy and Rock. Both have lived not well lives, but Revy had it 50 times worse than Rock ever could. Rock was treated badly by his co-workers, and his own bosses were trying to get him killed to protect their own company, while Revy was well beaten and raped as a child and had to kill her abuser, then lived on the streets trying to survive on her own. Revy's whole character symbols someone who didn't have anything, and when she sees people who indeed had everything, she can't fucking stand it, and it's for good reasons. Black Lagoon episode 5 is about both Rock and Revy's perspective on the world. They had a mission to capture a lost painting during a war. When they found what they were looking for, Revy wanted more. Anything to sell to make more money. Rock believed all their belongings should rest with them, because it's their legacy. We don't have the right to take anything away from them. And that's when Revy put her 2 cents in on the topic. Revy responds with, "Do you see the skull and metal? They won't get any other value because they are someone's precious memory. Their value will be determined by the one thing everyone else agrees on, which is money." Revy's whole perspective is about taking what you can get to make a profit out of it so you can survive in this world. Between God and money, money is more useful compared to God in her eyes. And in most cases, it is for a fact. Revy sees Rock as an escape to a better life. Rock has seen a better perspective on the world compared to her, and Revy secretly wants to see the world through his eyes. If Revy can change, it means she will be saved from this world's hell, because that's what she wants, to be free from this hell, murder, and struggle of a life. Rock is that person to help her change to be a better person. We have seen Revy not just act, but sincerely being nice and sweet, even opening up to Rock about her own life and thoughts. But when Revy has a mission to do, it brings out the cold version inside of herself out. There are 2 Revys inside of her mind, the dark side of herself and the nice and kind version of herself. But the nicer version of herself only comes out when she's around Rock, and only Rock. And that is why Revy wants to be saved from her crime and mission life. She wants to be free from it, but the sad truth is she has admitted she's been around Roanoke for too damn long. This is all that she knows how to live her own life. While Rock tries to work with people without violence or threatening people like Revy. Speaking of Rock, let's talk about his character. The first episode of Black Lagoon, Rock gets captured by the Lagoon Company. He meets Revy and Dutch as the first 2 members. Rock then finds out his boss wants to use him as a sacrifice to protect their company. He had a disc that had plans of an operation. His boss said that disc has been nothing but trouble. We don't want it. And things got worse for Rock. His own boss sent a very armed soldier to kill them. He told him he would be promoted and remembered. And that's when Rock got very frustrated and was betrayed by the people he trusted the most. When things settled down, Dutch, who helped capture him, treated him equally as a human being to another and invited him to go drinking with the crew at a bar. Rock now realizes it doesn't matter if someone is a criminal or someone completely new in your life. When anyone treats you with kindness or respect, you are considered a friend to them. And even Rock said, "These pirates, thugs, treat me better than my own people at work." Anyone you meet besides their title can treat you with proper respect. And when you get to know someone, they seem less of a concern to worry about, and much more of someone you can just talk with. Rock had a drink contest with Revy. Revy didn't like that Rock was standing up for himself, that he can drink twice as much as Revy could. And this was the beginning of their new crazy friendship and partnership. Rock made his decision and told his boss, "You said I was dead." Meaning, this is a new start and a new chapter in his life. He decided to stay with the pirate thugs. And the old version of himself who worked with their company no longer exists. Rock felt more happier to be around the pirates rather than his own workers back home, who darkenedly betrayed him and wanted him dead. Rock meets Balalaika, and she takes a great liking to him. And the rest is history. Now let's get into more of Rock's whole character. The point of Revy's character is that she wants to be saved from Rock's perspective on the world. But let's say if Rock becomes just like Revy, then how will Revy be saved if Rock is consumed by the same madness? From Rohanabur, Rock has been around the crew in the worst city in the whole world for way too long. Now Rock is just as crazy and mad like Revy can be. You see, from the very beginning, Rock was this weird, awkward, and nice businessman. He would always try to be kind, negotiating with people, and just be himself in these situations. But later on into the story, when Rock really gets involved into situations that are just more difficult and complex, he puts his damn mind to it. And he strategizes everything like a chess game, and maybe even sacrifice people to get the job done. Something he used to be against, but Rock has completely changed at this point. Further into the story, Revy originally wanted him to toughen up to be just like her, and when Rock finally becomes just like Revy, and now she doesn't recognize him anymore. The excuse I can find for Revy is, when she first met Rock, she was attached to his differences of the world, and she had the opportunity to open up to him personally because of that. Revy couldn't stand Rock originally being who he was, and surely wanted him to be more like herself, and just being reasonable from her point of view. But naturally, because how we are as people, Revy got too attached to Rock being the opposite of her. And now, instead of wanting him to be like her, she loves Rock being the complete opposite of her now. She grew too attached to him. In one of their missions, Revy was hiding some papers they needed to give for a trade. She lied to her co-partner, referred as Chinglish, that they can't get paid because she left the documents back with Rock, who was captured by the soldiers. But at the end of the mission, we find out she had the documents' papers the entire time, and told them a complete lie so they had an excuse to go back and save Rock's life. Revy indeed cares about him and maybe secretly loves Rock a little bit personally. She grew attached to him real quick. Now you understand why Revy changed her perspective on Rock, from wanting him to be like her, because she ended up enjoying Rock as who he is originally. Nice, sweet, and a caring businessman, and he had a chance to teach her a few things from his perspective on the world. The complete opposite of her. But now it seems like it backfired on her, and she wants the old, kind Rock back. There's a gangster called Cheng Li in the story who obviously resembles Rock, as if the story is foreshadowing Rock's future, that he won't be saving himself or Revy anymore, and he's on his way to become the next gangster in Rohanabur. And because Rock and Lee look too much alike, there's this interesting conversation between Lee and Rock talking about their mission. Rock is in trying to capture Roberta, and honestly, this conversation seems more like the old Rock talking to the future Rock. The present Rock is trying to make things work and trying to save everyone's life, while Cheng Li represents Rock in the future, that you have to do whatever it means to get the job done, no matter what. And as a result, we see that gangster come out of Rock, and his future seems to be set in stone. And this is the relationship between both Revy and Rock. But a little insight on Revy, she's made it very clear Rock hasn't forgotten the ways of the outside world, which still interests Revy's whole mindset. She still can't live without Rock in some ways. Revy technically can take care of herself, but mentally Rock helps her to keep her interest at a calm level. Revy now has someone to talk with and hang out with, but it seems like she wants to know more about the outside world of crime in Rohanabur, and that's how Rock plays his part wonderfully. Revy opens up to Rock when she has the opportunity to, and it's fucking sweet. Now, Dutch is a cool, strict dude. He's been nice to buy and help out Rock when he needed something like scuba dive gear. When he first met Rock, he literally punched him in the face because he was freaking out about being killed, which is understandable. But like I said earlier, Rock went from being the nerdy businessman to actually knowing how to play the game right, on how to get in and out of a situation. Even Dutch was so impressed by his development, he didn't even recognize him anymore. He told Rock he had balls of steel. To me, that is amazing character development. Rohanabur is a place of complete freedom in exchange for the freedom of being able to do whatever you want. You make all the decisions in the world, so you are also free to be burdened with the responsibility of all that happens as a result. So all the terrible, horrible things that can happen or will happen because you are free. This is without a doubt one of the best dialogues ever in the whole series. Black Lagoon is a series about the real world, and the freedom that you have causes trouble. At the same time, you have to make ways to make your living to survive in this world. Revy is stuck in a cycle of being a criminal. It's the only way she knows how to survive and live in this world. She said at the very beginning, I stole, I killed, I did everything. It's no sick joke. The freedom you have to live in this world also means you are free to have the regrets and the decisions, the choices behind your back, while you get to live the next morning because of your past actions that gave you the reason to live tomorrow. Sometimes we do what it means to survive, and that is the only excuse we have. Even if our actions are completely wrong, human beings just don't have a choice, and that's the sad reality that we have to live in every day. And this is why Black Lagoon is my second favorite anime of all time. The character writing just hits on different levels of reality. I love how the story and the character writing is just so realistic and human, and you really get behind the dialogue moments when it comes to the real life struggle and what it means to just be a person to survive in this cold world, and the amount of people who have to make horrible choices just to live for the next tomorrow. Black Lagoon teaches you a lot about the real world. Please give it a watch. I'm Delix, subscribe if you want, and stay Black Lagoon weird, and have a good night. Bye.